All right, let's talk about something we all have, but probably don't understand. Earwax. Now, what if I told you that pretty much everything you think you know about cleaning your ears is not just wrong, but it could actually be dangerous? Well, stick around, because we are about to uncover the surprising truth. So let's just get right to it with the big question. Is earwax your enemy? Is it this, gross stuff that you need to be constantly getting rid of?
Nope, not even close. In fact, it's the exact opposite. You need to stop thinking of earwax as dirt and start thinking of it as your ear's own personal bodyguard.
And that's what we're going to dive into first. To really get why it's a hero, we have to understand what this stuff actually is. Okay, so the fancy medical term is cerumen, and it's basically this custom-made mixture of skin cells, sweat, and other little bits. It has three really important jobs. First, it protects the super delicate skin inside your ear canal. Second, it lubricates it, so things don't get all dry and itchy. And third, it actually cleans your ears by trapping dust and dirt before it can get any further. Your ear has this incredible self-cleaning system. It's like a tiny conveyor belt that's powered by you just talking and chewing. It slowly pushes the old wax out all by itself.
But sometimes even the best bodyguard can cause a problem. And that's when we get to something called impaction. This is what happens when that whole self-cleaning system gets jammed up and the wax gets stuck.
And you might be surprised at how common this is. We're talking about 1 in every 20 adults. But get this, that number jumps to 1 in 10 for kids. And for older adults, it's more than a third of them. This is a huge issue that's just hiding in our ears.
So how would you even know if this is happening to you? Well, some symptoms are pretty obvious, right? A feeling of fullness, muffled hearing, maybe some pain. But then there are the weird ones you'd never connect to your ears, like feeling dizzy, hearing a constant ringing sound, or even a chronic cough. Yeah, that can be triggered by wax pressing on a nerve in your ear canal. Wild, right? So who really needs to pay attention here? Well, as we get older, our wax tends to get drier and just harder for our bodies to push out. If you're constantly wearing hearing aids or earbuds, those can literally act like a roadblock, stopping the wax from making its natural journey out. And see that third one on the list? Cotton swab users. We're going to get back to that in a big way, because it's one of the main reasons people end up with impacted wax in the first place.
Which brings us perfectly to our next section. It is time to bust some serious myths. Let's talk about what you should absolutely, positively not be doing to your ears.
And here it is, the #1 culprit. We all know it. The myth is, I'm just cleaning my ears. But the reality, you are acting like a little trash compactor for your own ear canal. Sure, you might see a little bit of yellow on the tip, but you've just pushed the rest of it deeper down, packing it tightly against your eardrum. That's what causes impaction. It's the worst thing you can do.
And then there's this thing, ear candling. The claim is that it creates some magical, gentle vacuum that sucks the wax out. The reality? Science has looked at this and said, nope, there is no vacuum, it's totally ineffective. But it's not just useless, it's actually dangerous. We're talking about reports of serious burns, punctured eardrums, and even candle wax getting stuck in the ear. It's so bad that selling these things is illegal in Canada, and for a very good reason.
Look, if you need one last nail in the coffin on this, let's just listen to the experts. The official clinician consensus is crystal clear. Trying to remove earwax with cotton swabs, hairpins, keys, whatever, it's just asking for an injury. The old saying is true. Don't put anything smaller than your elbow in your ear.
Okay, so we spent a lot of time on the don'ts. So what do you do if you think you have a problem? Let's switch gears and talk about the right way, the safe way to get some relief.
For most of us, most of the time, this is literally all you need to do. Seriously, your ear cleans itself from the inside out. The only part you need to give a hand is the very outer part, the bit you can see. Just take a washcloth, put it over your finger while you're in the shower, and gently wipe. That's it. That's the big secret.
Now, if you do have a blockage, over-the-counter softening drops can be a big help. You've basically got two main options here.
You've got water-based drops, which work by getting into the wax plug and breaking it apart. They're often a bit faster. Then you have oil-based drops, like mineral oil or olive oil. These work more slowly by just softening and lubricating the wax, making it easier for it to come out on its own.
After you've used some softening drops for a few days, you might try at-home irrigation. But you have to do this safely. Get one of those little rubber bulb syringes. And this part is absolutely critical. Fill it with body temperature water. If the water is too cold or too hot, it can make you incredibly dizzy. Then you just tilt your head, gently squirt the water along the side of the ear canal, and tilt your head back the other way to let everything drain out.
But, and this is a big but, self-treatment isn't for every person or every situation. Which brings us to our last and maybe most important point, knowing when to stop what you're doing and call a professional.
And please, listen carefully. This is non-negotiable. If you have any of these red flags, do not attempt any at-home treatment. Any drainage, like pus or blood, if you know or even suspect you have a hole in your eardrum, if you've had recent ear surgery, or if you have tubes in your ears, you absolutely need to see a doctor. The same goes for severe dizziness or sudden hearing loss. These are not situations to mess around with at home.
So, there you have it. We've learned that earwax isn't the villain, it's the hero. We've seen how the most common way people clean their ears is actually what's causing the problem, and now we know the safe ways to get relief, and crucially, when not to. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Now that you know the truth about earwax, what are you going to change?